I was looking for books about Chinese Canadians when I was growing up, and there wasn't anything at all. I grew up in Toronto. I actually grew up in Toronto's Chinatown, and all that time when I was growing up, there were 6 kids in our family, but it was just myself that was really interested in the Chinese Canadian history. So even when I was in elementary school through high school, I was collecting newspaper articles, magazine articles, anything about the Chinese Canadian history. So I've always been drawn to that topic. I just carried on writing. I retired 9 years ago from working as a librarian, and I've taken on writing as my passion. So I've got 7 books that I've published, and 5 of those were written for children. You know, when you talk about writing a book, publishing a book, the best part, the most fun, well, not necessarily the best part, the most fun part is doing the research. And research, I love doing it because you're just in explore mode. You can just go down all these different paths of looking for information when I'm researching any of my topics. And that takes me to places, takes me to libraries, it takes me to archives where I can explore, it takes me to other cities where I go to museums or check out their archival material. And something that, I've worked, when I was doing research for my Dragon Boat Festival book, I read about all this research about, what's dragon boating all about. So I had a friend who was a dragon boater, and I said, listen, can I just jump in the back of the boat and just, because I want to experience what this sport is all about. And so I did that, and that was in the year 2000, and I've been involved with that sport ever since then. So that's just something from my research process. If it's not presented properly to children, it can be kind of boring and not very exciting. So I try to bring excitement into when I'm telling my stories about history, to try to relate it to the children, try to bring in my memories of growing up. For example, too, if I'm talking about the history of China and how it relates to how the Chinese came to Canada, I just don't say they came from China. I have a big world map, and I ask children to point out where China is, and then show them the route that the Chinese came to come to Canada. So I try to get it as interactive as possible. Like I'll show a picture on the screen and have children point out, tell me what stories you see when you look at this picture. So I try to get the children as involved as possible, make it as interactive as possible. My hope is that anyone who reads the book will know something a bit more than before they read any of my books. I think it's really important for not only Chinese Canadian children growing up to learn about their history, their culture, but also for all Canadians, so that we can really understand our history and understand our past, and really get to appreciate everybody in Canada. So I hope that's the impact that I can make.